Recently, I felt that my Spanish GCSE and AS level students have needed more advice on transitioning to the next year group. Now, normally students would have physical support and contact hours at school. They'd be starting to look at the syllabus topics and the reading list for the next year up, but that's not the case for a lot of students at the moment because of everything that's going on, or for those that are being homeschooled or private candidates. So this transition guidance applies to GCSE Year 11 moving to Year 12 and Year 12 students transitioning to Year 13 and dealing with their UCAS applications if they're going to uni. I'm taking this from a Spanish perspective, but obviously it applies to all other language and humanities subjects. So the first thing I want to discuss, expectations. It's definitely a big adjustment moving from any language GCSE to studying it for A-level. You could say that for other subjects as well, but you've still got the different modules of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So, you've got to be organised, you've got to keep on top of things, otherwise you can easily find yourself getting a bit overwhelmed. I think the expectations are higher, and it's the same for all other A-level subjects, but you notice how much you build upon the grammar and verb tenses that you learnt for GCSE. So you delve deeper into why you use the subjunctive, paying more attention to exceptions to grammar rules and so on. You've got to up level. That's the best way that I would describe this jump. Obviously you're taking languages to that next level, so it's bound to be more demanding, but equally satisfying as you explore the subjects more. Now, it also really helps you to prep for uni, because at uni, the onus is on you to be responsible for your learning and revision timetable. So making sure that everything is organised in your folders, that your flashcards are on point, that you ask for support from your teachers when you need it. So basically, you're going to be learning a lot more independently. So this is amazing pre-prep for those students that are going to university. It helps you to be able to handle that transition well. Now, obviously, for A-level students, you'll have a lot more free periods in the day. So you need to be able to plan your time efficiently because you'll have a lot more to juggle. Now, if you're in Year 12 and transitioning to Year 13, you'll be thinking about preparing your UCAS statement. You'll be getting together your volunteering projects, planning your year out if you're taking one, or visiting universities, although at the moment, obviously, you can only have virtual open days. Also, you really learn to develop your own opinions and justify your point of view at A-level. A lot of my students don't necessarily have strong opinions on certain subjects, such as immigration and things like that. But as you move from theme to theme, you expand your ideas a lot more. And this is a great launch pad for those that are studying, any subject at university. It doesn't just have to be languages. Another thing here is that you really upgrade your presentation and research skills. So if you're studying languages, say French or Spanish at A-level, you'll be required by your exam board to give a presentation in the topic of your choice. So you get to choose that topic. You need to collate and disseminate your data and build up your own dossier of information. So you'll be doing this at uni all the time. So it's really good practice for that. Another thing, you'll be learning a lot of really cool, relevant topics. You'll go more in depth and you'll really increase your level of understanding. A big change you'll notice is that you need to drill down into the details of what you're studying. So let's take GCSE Spanish. You speak or write about your favourite holidays, but at A-level you get into the granular details of the environmental and economical impacts of tourism in Spain, for example. Now, also in GCSE, you probably found that you were memorising a lot of content and it was quite formulaic. As long as you tick the boxes, you'll be fine. But for A-level, you have to think more spontaneously. You're learning about issues such as politics, unemployment, the Spanish education system, and they're deep topics. And initially, that's a lot to get your head around. But conversely, it's super interesting, right? You're discussing topics such as social media, gender equality, relationships, the role of celebrities, immigration, and so on. Another amazing thing is that the focus for your language GCSE, say Spanish, is Spain. But with A-level, you've got a bigger outlook because you're studying Central and South American countries. That's super interesting because you see things from different aspects all the time. And actually, this is one of the reasons why I went backpacking around Central America, because I wanted to see for myself the things that I learned in theory when I was studying languages at sixth form. Now, film and literature is another big change when you transition to A-level. So for most exam boards, you will have to choose one literature text and one film text to study. So you'll be learning about, famous authors and famous film directors, learning about history timelines and different cultures and traditions. Plus, you'll be writing lengthier essays and more of them. So you learn about critical analysis skills, how to develop your arguments and include quotes and evidence in your essays. So again, this is super useful when you're prepping to go to uni. Another point I want to make is about language tools and how you consume the news. So one of the first things you need to do is create a routine for yourself in how and when you consume language news. For example, how often are you reading the headlines in newspapers and articles of interest in El País or Le Figaro? You need to watch YouTube videos, news clips, listen to podcasts, and find some series on Netflix to watch. This can be overwhelming because you didn't need to do that for GCSE, and then suddenly for A-level you're consuming a lot of info. Implement irregular timetables, you're checking in all your different channels, making sure that you're up to date with what's going on in the Spanish-speaking world or the country or countries of your choice. Last thing I want to mention, class sizes. I remember when I had my first A-level Spanish class, I did French and English for A-level as well, before I did languages at uni. We were all sitting in a room, and I think there was about 7 or 8 of us in the class, and that had dropped significantly for those that from when we'd been studying GCSE. So it's a more intimate environment. You're more exposed, I guess. The good thing is that you get more attention from your teacher. But it's a great opportunity for you to sort of put yourself out there, and improve your speaking confidence. So grab this chance. It's a really good skill for you to have, not only now or at uni, but beyond in life. So to sum it up, you've got to be prepared to put in the work. And I think that's the same for most things in life, And I think by making the decision personally to take my language learning to the next level, it's definitely made me more confident in my communication skills and, more open to other cultures. And I think it's one of the best decisions, I've ever made.